So as I read the script, I'll confirm the members of the Affordable Housing Trust that are here, and then Peter, then you can go on to confirm, open the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee meeting and confirm that we have a quorum for that meeting. Does that sound right for those of you who are keepers of the order? Okay, so as a preliminary matter, this is the Affordable Housing Trust meeting. I'm Brooke Moore. Permit me to confirm all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Rima Sherry.
Aye.
Dave Iverson.
Aye.
Penny Dye.
Aye.
Allison Mitchell.
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella.
Aye.
Okay, I think I got everybody from Affordable Housing Trust. Okay. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tucker Holland.
Here.
Eleanor Antonetti.
Here.
Yeti. Brian Turbot.
Present.
And Ken Beaugrand.
Present.
Great. Anticipated speakers on the agenda, we do not have any anticipated speakers. We have people here. Is Denise speaking?
Nope.
Okay, great. Good afternoon. This open meeting of the Nantucket Affordable Housing Trust is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's orders suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment if anyone so chooses. For this meeting of the Nantucket Affordable Housing Trust, the Nantucket Affordable Housing Trust is convening by video conference via the Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We are now turning, I am now going to invite Peter Hoey as co-chair of the Nantucket Affordable House, the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee, to open the meeting and confirm a quorum of that committee.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Three times is a charm. Okay, I will call to order the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee meeting by calling out the members' names and asking them to affirm that they are present. I realize we have 4 members that are already been called, but bear with me, I'll call them again now that we're doing our roll call. Howard Dickler, are you here? Okay. Posey Constable, are you here?
I'm here.
Good. Joe Grouse, are you present?
I am here.
Eric Savetsky, are you present?
Here.
Brian Turbot, are you present?
I am present.
Brooke Moore, are you present?
I am.
Penny Dye, are you present?
Present.
Christy Ferrantella, are you present?
Here.
David Iverson, are you present?
Yes.
Okay, it appears we have 4, 8, 9 members of our 11-member committee. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tucker Holland, are you present?
Present.
Ken Brogrand,
Present.
Eleanor Antonetti.
Present.
Okay, wonderful.
So Peter, why don't you take your agenda first? And then what we'll do is when your agenda is complete, then we will confirm whether a quorum of the Neighborhood First Committee is staying on this call. We need to maintain a quorum up to the point at which you close your meeting. So we have to keep it open as long as there is a quorum. But if people need to drop off, if you could just speak up so we know we maintain a quorum through the balance of the Affordable Housing Trust meeting, or close the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee at the point at which we're about to lose a quorum.
Understood. Primary purpose of our meeting today, or our meeting, is to approve minutes from November 1 and November 19 of last year. I'll take the November 1 minutes first. Are there any corrections or additions that the members of the Neighborhood First Committee wish to make? Do I need to call their names one by one?
So we need to have a motion and a second, and then it has to be a roll call vote. And I think they can be done together if there's no comments on either. It can be done under one motion.
But by asking for comments, I do not need to ask by person. I can just ask
No.
a general question.
No.
All right, do any members of the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee have any additions or corrections to the November 1 minutes?
Not for me.
Okay, then could I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It has been approved and seconded. Any discussion?
I have a question. Brian motioned and who seconded, please?
I seconded. Dave.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we need to vote to approve that by name. Is that correct?
Correct.
That
Roll
is
call.
correct.
Roll call. Posey Constable, do you approve?
Approve.
Joe Grouse?
I approve.
Eric Savetsky?
Aye.
Brian Turbot?
Aye.
Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Penny Dye?
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella?
Aye.
David Iverson?
Aye.
And Peter Hoey also approves. So the minutes of November 1 have been approved as drafted. We'll next consider the minutes of November 19. Do any members of the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee have any additions or corrections? Hearing none, could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Eleanor, you got those names? I'll assume so. Roll call for approval. Posey
Yes, I do.
Constable?
I do have them. Thank you.
Thank you. Posey Constable?
I approve.
Joe Grouse?
I approve.
Eric Savetsky?
Aye.
Brian Turbot?
Aye.
Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Penny Dye?
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella?
Aye.
Dave Iverson?
Aye.
And the chair, Peter Hoey, also approves. So that completes item 3 on our agenda. Item 4 is the Neighborhood First RFP update. The reason this is on our agenda is because if any members of the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee wish to ask questions or make comments about the RFP, you need to do it at this time while our meeting is over. And so I will ask if any of our members have any questions or comments they wish to make about the RFP. Hearing none, we turn then to public comments. Is the public on this call?
There,
There are 1 or 2 members.
Okay, does anyone from the public wish to make comment or ask any questions of the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee? Hearing none, I next want to ask if any of the following 4 members wish to drop off the call. Posey Constable,
No.
Joe Grouse?
Yes, I would like to drop off.
Okay, thank you. So noted. Eric Savetsky,
I'll stay on.
You'll stay on. Brian Turbot.
I need to, yes.
Okay, and I'll assume that the 4 members of our committee who are also members of Affordable Housing Trust will remain on the calls, as will I. So we will not adjourn our meeting at this time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian.
Very efficient.
Thanks,
Very
everybody.
efficiently done.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
See everybody.
See you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, so I'm going to turn to the first item on our agenda, and that is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion from the floor?
So
So
moved.
moved.
So I heard Dave,
Second.
second from Christie. Okay, all those in favor by roll call, Rima,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Penny,
Aye.
Allison,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
and I think that's it. There's so many people in the room today. It's very confusing on Zoom. Okay, thank you. And
Brooke?
then the next, yep.
Sorry, I think one thing technically that wasn't done during the neighborhood first meeting thus far is the approval of that agenda. If Peter, you could just have the agenda approved to dot the i's and cross the t's.
Understood. Okay. And that also gives me a chance to remind everyone that if you did say you're going to stay on, if you have to leave, could you just please announce that you're leaving? Because if at any point in time we fall below a quorum, that's a problem. We can't adjourn the meeting.
And Peter, you now have Howard Dickler on as well.
I see that Howard has joined us. Welcome, Howard.
Hello, everybody.
So the agenda we've just completed should have been approved before we began. Could I have a motion to approve that agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, and we need a roll call on that as well?
Yep.
Okay, Howard Dickler, do you approve that
Approve.
motion? Posey Constable?
I approve.
Joe Grouse is gone. Eric Savetsky?
Aye.
Brian Turbot?
He's gone.
Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Penny Dye?
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella?
Aye.
Dave Iverson?
Aye.
And Peter Hoey also approves. So that passes by majority.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay, thanks, Peter. So on to item 3 on the Affordable Housing Trust agenda, approval of the minutes of August 18th. Are there any additions or corrections from the members of the trust board? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Penny, seconded by Christie. All those in favor by roll call vote, Rima,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Penny,
Aye.
Allison,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
and that's it. Okay. So the next item on the agenda is public comment. Are there any members of the public present who would like to speak at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to Neighborhood First RFP update, and I will pass to Tucker.
Thank you, Brooke. So just a quick update, as folks are aware, the RFP has been issued and is outstanding. We highly encourage anyone who is interested in this program at any level to register through the procurement website on the town website, the procurement page, I should say, on the town website. It is under the open bids section. Folks need to register by September 25th in order to ensure that they're receiving all information related to this RFP. Folks can ask questions by emailing procurement@nantucket-ma.gov up until September 30th, and proposals are due by Thursday, October 22nd at 10 a.m. We did hold an information session a couple of weeks ago, and we'll be publishing a written account of that information session. It is also available to view online through YouTube on the government channel of NCTV 18. One area that I just want to highlight that will be clarified in the upcoming issuance of questions and answers. And again, if you are registered, you will automatically receive all of these questions and answers. But one aspect that has been asked about by several members, in particular of the real estate community, is whether or not if someone were to be considering selling their property to the trust at a bargain price or below market price, whether they would be able to potentially take advantage of a tax credit, much in the way that works when in bargain sales to the land bank. And the initial guidance here has been that may well be possible depending on your particular situation. So more guidance will be coming. We are not going to be advising people, of course, about their tax situation, but as a general principle, in the same manner in which someone might make a bargain sale to the land bank with their open property for conservation, the same principle would apply here on a developed property. So that we think that is a very relevant aspect of this program, and we will be providing a bit more information in the written write-up. So are there any questions that I can answer about the RFP at this point? We have not received any formal proposals, but there certainly has been a lot of talk and interest in this program.
Hi, I'm good, yourself? Actually, I'm in the middle of the Affordable Housing Trust on a Zoom call.
So if there are no questions, next item.
So first thing tomorrow morning is better, actually.
So moving on to the next agenda item, 135 and 137 Orange Street.
May I, excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but for the sake of efficacy, maybe NFAC can adjourn now?
Can they adjourn if there's a quorum present?
Well, their agenda does not have anything subsequent to the Neighborhood First RFP update. So it could fall under public comment, but they can adjourn.
Oh, okay. I had thought they had to keep the meeting open so long as they had a quorum. That was my misunderstanding. Penny?
Yeah, Brooke, I think we need to adjourn.
Okay. Okay. So, Peter, if you want to entertain a motion for adjournment.
Just a point of clarification, after we adjourn, members of the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee are still welcome to stay on and listen, or not?
Yes, as members of the public.
Great, okay. So could I please have a motion to adjourn the meeting of the Neighborhood First Advisory Committee?
I'll make a motion.
Second? Thank you, Penny. Second?
Second, Posey.
Thanks, Posey. We need to vote on this, so roll call. Howard Dickler?
Aye.
Posey, Constable?
Aye.
Joe Grouse is not here. Eric Savetsky?
Aye.
Brian is not here. Brooke Moore?
Aye.
Penny Dye?
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella?
Aye.
Dave Iverson?
Aye.
And Peter Hoey also votes in favor. So that passes, and we are officially adjourned.
Okay, so just to clarify now, those of you who are only members of Neighborhood First are now considered members of the public for future agenda item discussion. So, okay, thank you for that technical clarification. Okay, so now on to 135 and 137 Orange Street. And Tucker, are you taking the ball on this one?
Sure. I mean, it's a relatively brief discussion at this point, and it really ties into item 8, 6 Fairgrounds Road. In fact, I may speak a little bit about item 8 first, if I can.
Yeah, that's fine.
So relative to 6 Fairgrounds Road, just wanted to make the board aware that we recently had the opportunity to submit for a MassWorks grant application toward the construction of Waite Drive, which is the principal road which will service this development. It basically runs between Tacoma Way and out to Old South Road, connecting through the parking lot that's presently behind the Plus building. It also will have a connection to Amelia Drive. So we think that that's always been part of the plan. We believe that that will mitigate some of the traffic concerns that came up during the planning board process relative to a few residents on Tacoma Way. So an opportunity was brought before us with respect to potentially having a large portion of this work underwritten through the MassWorks program if we were to receive a grant. It's a very competitive program. However, the consulting engineers that we've worked with feel that this project is really kind of in the sweet spot of what they look for. So we have applied for 2.4 million of the $3 million estimated cost, and awards are due to be made at the end of October. So we will update you as soon as we know. Some monies have already been appropriated by prior town meetings, but this certainly would be helpful. So with regard to the housing project, the development of the affordable rental units, year-round rental units. Initially, I think as everyone understands, this project has always relied on tax credits, a tax credit award in their capital structure for building this out. And while the lawsuit was outstanding, it was not eligible to receive an award of a tax credit. Now that the lawsuit has been resolved as of last March, that basically freed it up to pursue a tax credit award. Tax credits typically are only given out once a year with applications.
Excuse me, Tucker, 1 second. For anyone who's not muted on their device, could you do so? We're getting a lot of background noise.
There may be a little bit of background noise here, Brooke, outside of the building. I don't know if that's coming through, unfortunately.
Okay, thanks, Tucker.
So the normal cycle for tax credit awards is pre-applications are submitted in November, December. Projects are then invited to apply for a tax credit award, where the submission is due at the end of January, the beginning of February, and the awards are typically made around July, although there isn't a definitive set date year to year. So they sometimes will do what they call a mini round in the fall, where applications are due in the September timeframe and awards are made in the December, January timeframe. There had been indications from DHCD, who is the entity that makes these awards, that they were going to do a mini round this fall. And if so, the project, with the legal challenges having been resolved in March, would have been eligible to apply this fall and the developer had been planning to do so. It does not appear that DHCD is going to do a mini round, that they may skip that and just do the normal annual round in the winter. That does affect when the units created by this project will count toward our SHI list. Where tax credits are involved with the project, the magic date, if you will, for inclusion on the SHI list is the date of the tax credit award. And this project, when that happens, will basically initiate a new 2-year period of safe harbor for the town. So I wanted to give that update relative to Six Fairgrounds. And we're still trying to definitively confirm that there won't be a fall mini round with DHCD, but it certainly is looking that way. And that ultimately may influence how and when we move forward with Orange Street. So there isn't a lot to talk about Orange Street today necessarily, but I just wanted to bring people up to speed on where we are with respect to our safe harbor planning.
Thank you, Tucker. Are there any questions from members of the Affordable Housing Trust Board? Okay. Sorry, I muted myself. We'll move on to the CPC application update.
So are we finished with item 5? I mean, we didn't really have anything there at all, other than the relationship with the tax credit timing.
Item 6, you mean?
6, I'm sorry.
Orange Street, right? Yeah, that's it. So we're done with Orange Street.
Okay, I just have to reflect that things were taken out of order, so I'm trying to get it right. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies, Eleanor.
That's okay.
Okay. So now we're going to go back. So we've Tucker, you're complete with 8, right? So we took 8 first, then 6. Now we're going on to 7.
That's correct.
Okay. CPC application update.
Yeah, so thank you again, Madam Chair. I just wanted to let the board know, per the direction at the August meeting, that we did indeed submit a CPC application on September 4th, seeking the $800,000 that we had discussed at the August meeting. That's largely to support the planned work of Housing Nantucket and Habitat for Humanity. Those funds would augment some funds we actually already have been awarded previously. Collectively, Housing Nantucket and Habitat have planned needs over this upcoming roughly 18-month period of roughly $2 million. So if we receive that $800,000 award, we should be in decent shape relative to the financial plan that we discussed in August. And I did have an opportunity to speak briefly with Ken, and it sounds like the total number of requests from the CPC across all 3 categories is actually less than what they typically would, less than what they typically would be giving out in a year. So hopefully that bodes well.
Just to bring you up to speed, the CPC meeting this morning, they decided we're going to be holding our hearings with the applicants on Tuesday, October 13th and Wednesday, October 14th. And Glenna will be in touch with you to set up a time for the presentation relative to your application.
Thank you, Ken. So does anyone from the trust have any questions regarding that update on the CPC application? Seeing none, we will move on to the next item, number 9, housing production plan update, next steps.
Yes, thank you. So as you all are aware, the board approved at the August meeting moving forward with the proposal received from Judy Barrett and Jen Goldson. So they would like to suggest a meeting on Wednesday, October 4th.
So October 4th, how does that look?
That's a Sunday.
I'm sorry.
It would be the 7th, the 7th or
Yes.
the 14th.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Wednesday, October 7th at 1 o'clock, which would be probably a 2-hour session to kick off the work on the housing production plan update.
I'm going to poll the board. I'm going to call you by name just to make sure we get everybody. Rima, does that work for you?
Yes.
All right, can
Dave?
you repeat the date and the time?
October 7th, 1 to 3 p.m. It's a Wednesday. Dave, you're muted.
I will be there
Okay, Penny?
with
Penny?
bells
Yes,
on.
that works for me.
Allison?
Yes, I'll be there.
Christy?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so we'll go forward with that date. Anything else on that, Tucker?
Excuse me, Tucker, would you need me to be there? Because I have to be off island for doctor's appointments, but I can use Zoom on my phone.
I mean, we'd certainly love to have you join, but I can record it and so forth. So it's not a command performance.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. So Tucker, is that it for housing production plan? Okay, so I'll close that item and open number 10, communication subcommittee report. Rima?
Yeah, hopefully everybody had a chance to look over my corrections, additions to our webpage that went out with the packet and went out earlier to the communication subcommittee members. And then we also have 2 general types of sketches for logos that we wanted to talk about. So I think probably if we could, Eleanor, do a screen share on the logos so everybody can see without like scrolling through their entire packet. I don't know if that.
So Rima,
that
why don't
possible.
I first ask the board if anyone has any comments on the list of items for the website.
Okay.
If anyone does so, if you could holler out, unmute yourself and holler out, because with the screen share, I can't see everybody. And I'd like to make note, thank you, Rima, for coordinating the addition of an aerial photograph of Satcham's Path as our background photo on the website. So
And
we have
with
a new,
Eleanor's help. 'Cause
with
I'm
Eleanor's help.
not the guy.
Great. Okay, go ahead, Rima.
So if everybody's okay with that list, or if not, through Tucker or through Eleanor, send me any suggestions before I give Florencia the green light. But it's basic. I just added a little bit more information under the subheads and thought that we should have a link to the chart so people understand if they qualify for subsidized programs or not. Let's see. But we could put our programs under the financial assistance heading, which is at the top, which I thought of later. I don't know if anybody thinks that might be a good idea. the financial assistance now has a state program and then our local food, fuel, and rental assistance. But we could add our closing cost assistance and our covenant lot creation assistance up there, or we could have a separate heading, as I suggested, for our specific programs.
Any thoughts?
Through you, Madam Chair or Vice
Yes,
Chair.
Dave?
I know. I think that it's more straightforward if it's all under one financial heading instead of mixed. My opinion.
Okay.
Only. To make people go more than one pull down menu to find the financial needs.
Yeah, that's why I thought, after the fact, oh, maybe they should just be right up there in the top with those other things, even ahead of those other things.
Better.
Brooke, what do you think?
I mean, my opinion is that no matter how you do it, someone's either going to find it more easily or not so easily, depending on how their brain organizes information. So I think it's a bit of 6 to 1, half to the dozen of the other. Maybe it's financial assistance. I don't know, because the RAFT program and NFFRA are sort of emergency financial assistance as opposed to regular programming. So I think it could go either way. Anyway, I'm on the fence, obviously. Anyone else have any thoughts? Okay.
Yeah, I can discuss it with Florencia as well. She puts this stuff together. She might have ideas, but we could even say financial assistance and NAHT programs. Just combine that, or vice versa.
Penny, did I see you unmute yourself?
Unfortunately, yes. Every time I do that, you have to watch my hand. Anyway,
it's helpful, actually.
Could it say financial information and resources or something?
Okay.
Or just financial and go to everything?
Resources.
Okay.
I don't know, because it's sort of an umbrella.
We could do. How about programs and resources?
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Great. So would you feel, do we need to move to approve these additions, or to give REMA, this communications subcommittee, the authority to move ahead with working with Florencia on nailing this down? Dave?
I just feel it would be easier to approve the final project instead of just keep on approving and approving and approving.
So help me. Do you mean wait for a final list, or go ahead and approve it as amended?
I think what we're saying is encourage REMA to continue, and the committee to continue doing the good work they're doing, and then bring it back to us one more time before the end.
Okay.
Right.
It will be happening simultaneous to that, right? So the updates, and we're good with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Brooke, you have a reverb. You have a reverb. Is there something else on in your? Sometimes
No.
there's 2 devices. Okay. FYI, reverb.
No, not in my house.
Okay.
I'm hearing it through a lot of people.
Okay. Zoom.
Yeah. via Zoom. Rima?
So can we move on to the logo and
Yes.
see which direction we want to go, and then we'll work up a final version of whichever direction the trust likes. Penny is
Okay.
wiggling her fingers.
Yeah.
Okay, Penny, go ahead. I was
Good.
looking at the logos, not looking at the people. Go ahead.
Yeah, good job. I figured out those little number ones are actually keys, left and right. Is that true?
I believe those keys, Florencia did the circle, and then I did the letters with little architectural details.
Yeah, I really like them. If we get to vote, I'd say I really like the one on the right, the far right. I think it's the most clean one. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the other ones. I was looking at those. Yeah.
So you like the
Yeah, the dark blue under Nantucket.
okay, so you like the circle.
Yeah, I just think it's really
prefer
clean.
The orange, if we're going circle. Just
Yeah,
'cause
I
it
like the
gives it
orange.
A little pop, draws a little attention.
Okay, so I want to make sure everyone is also seeing the other versions, which is a completely
Wait,
different design.
Just for clarification, is it either or do we get to pick one of each?
I would say, sorry, through Brooke.
Go ahead, Rima.
Either the circle with the little houses or the trust letters are with architectural details.
So it's either or.
Either or, and then we'll know what direction to go in, and then from there we can refine.
I like the circle. The thing about the architectural letters is if it's a roof that's over them, it's a really low pitched roof, which isn't of course allowed here. I don't know. It just looks sort of flat to me, the roof. And then I see what Dave was saying about the orange, but it also looks like a fried egg to me.
I think that as much as I like and acknowledge all the work that went into the letters, I think that the round logo, there is no question what we're talking about here, where the letters leaves you kind of wondering, well, what is that? With this affordable housing, there's little houses, there's keys. Regardless of what color we choose, I just think that this logo is encompasses what we are more than just the letters, if that makes sense.
Okay, are there any members who haven't weighed in yet who would like to weigh in?
This is Christy. Just to kind of echo what's been said, I think that the blue circles, or whatever color we decide on, I think it really stands out as to what the mission is, and it's something that would also pop. So it would pop on websites and social media. So I think that would be a good way to move for the future.
Okay, anybody else?
Sounds like circles.
Hearing silence. So I think what I'd like to do is a sense of the meeting adequate for folks on this to send Rima in the direction of the circles? And are we prepared? Do we feel like this is final, Rima, or is there more work to be done?
I think,
I mean, as in, do we pick one of the four?
I'd say probably people tend to like the one all the way to the right or the orange one. So maybe let's choose between that. But, putting in extra colors on printed material, well, it's not that big a deal anymore. But Tucker.
Tucker has his hand up.
I just was going to say, I think maybe a sense of the meeting is good, and that I think we could take the feedback given about pop and let Florencia play maybe a little bit with that. The one at the far right definitely is the cleanest. I think that's important. But maybe there's a thing or two she can try for folks to look at as well.
Okay, Penny.
I just wanted to ask Brooke through you, since Rima's done so much work on this, that if Rima has a preference.
I liked the orange one. I don't know why. I
I
mean,
think they're both great choices. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that you guys hit it spot on. I think you did a great job.
So give me a sense, do we want additional versions and colors to entertain, or are we comfortable moving forward with making a choice today between, I would say we're sort of clearly down to the two on the right.
why don't I have Florencia, we'll just finalize something that that makes sense between the two, and come back to you with that, and come back to you with finalized headings, and we should be good. I'll have her probably do a mock-up, and then so everybody can see what everything looks like all put together, and we can approve or make suggestions from there.
Okay.
And
All right, great. Thank you, Rima, for all the time and effort you've put into this. Really appreciate it.
Yes, great job.
Okay. So any other business?
Yeah, I have a question.
Penny?
Can Sully bring that baby to the next meeting?
Well, assuming something really strange doesn't happen and she's really late, but assuming there is a baby.
He could just show us.
Okay, we'll ask. Okay, next scheduled meeting date is Tuesday, October 20th at 1 p.m.
October 7th.
The special meeting is October 7th, but then our regular meeting is October 20th. Just confirming that schedule still works, that we don't have any need for change. So we'll have 2 meetings in October. Okay, just to be clear. All right, any other board comments? Awful quiet out there. Okay, so Penny, do you want to do your thing?
Oh, right. Without reading it? Okay, I'll make a motion that we adjourn the regular meeting of the Affordable Housing Trust Fund for the purpose of going into executive session to discuss.
To consider
Thank you.
the purchase.
I'm doing this from memory. Items that,
The purchase, exchange, lease, or value
the purchase, exchange, lease of real estate,
of real property.
real property not to return to executive,
Where
not
an open meeting will have a detrimental effect. I should have sent this to you. I'm sorry.
I will never ever try and do this from memory again.
I'm sorry. I always, it's in the minutes. If you want to look at the old minutes, it's right there.
And it's a 117-page packet.
Okay, I'll tell you where. Here.
I'm going back.
Go
Here,
in the
Penny.
packet. I'm sorry. I know it's complicated. So in the minutes on page, here we go, page 16 of the packet.
Okay, here we go. I got it. All right.
Sorry, Penny, I put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'll say. Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property where an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body, and that we not return to open session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
From Christy by roll call. Rima?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Penny?
Aye.
Allison?
Aye.
Christy?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. So we will now close this meeting, and you guys, everyone have the link for the executive session meeting available
Yes,
to
can
them.
we have, Can we have just like a 4-minute hiatus so I can get my bearings? Is that okay? Tucker?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's
All
right.
right.
So why don't we reconvene at 2 o'clock? It's in 8 minutes.
2 o'clock.
Ah, thank you.
8-minute food bio break.
Well,
Okay.
get my steps in too.
Okay.
I just
All
got
right,
an alert
great.
my Fitbit.
I hope I
See you all
have, is
the
it a
next Zoom.
different Zoom address?
Yes.
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 There was a email sent this morning, Dave. I can resend it if you'd like,
Okay, from who?
from me.
Tucker.
Okay, I'll find it. No problem.
8:44 a.m.
All right, thank you.
See you
Okay,
in-
I was
thank you,
still- I was
Peter
still
and Howard,
sleeping.
for hanging with us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all in the other Zoom room in a minute. In 8 minutes, 7 minutes and counting.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye, everyone.